Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on three movies that are pretty woke. First, When Time Got Louder, Femme, and then A Vigilante, starring Olivia Wilde. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 13. Available at Amazon.com. Okay, so first is When Time Got Louder. This is about a brother and sister. The brother is, I guess he's autistic. He definitely has issues. I'm gonna guess it's autism. It seems like autism. I don't know that much about it, but and they're best friends. But then she's trying to have her own life, and then the moment she's gone and the brother can't reach her, he has a breakdown. I think she goes to college and he can't get a hold of her, and he's just like freaking out. Then they're trying to give the brother some amount of independence, trying to train him to take the bus, and it doesn't work out. So then they're thinking about putting him in an assisted living home because they can't take care of him anymore, or maybe somebody's dying, or they're just looking into the future. And then I guess something happens, because then it looks like the government's going to take him away, and then the sister comes back because she can help him. It seems like a bit of a sad movie, but at the same time kind of nice, because it's a brother and sister kind of bond. Written and directed by Connie Cochia. So yeah, it doesn't look bad. It looks very dramatic. It's not my kind of movie. It looks very sad. You know, the sister probably has to sacrifice a great deal of her time and life in order to keep the brother, you know, on an even keel. And the parents don't want that for her, but I don't know. Some people do make it work. So, and it feels like a lot of this, in the trailer at least, is pushed, you know, goes from like 0 to 11. Like 1 minute she's in high school and she's always around her brother and everything's fine, and the moment she gets to college and misses a phone call, it all falls to pieces. So it may be a little over dramatic, but I mean, for a drama, this is pretty good. First act, I mean, it'll be them in high school and their sort of balance as a brother and sister. And then she goes away, and then it's like, will the brother be able to function without her? Does he understand that she's not going to be around as much? And it kind of goes all wonky. I think something happens after he takes the bus by himself, and it all goes wrong, and then there's movements to maybe put him in a home, or you know, maybe he's in some trouble, and then the sister has to make the agonizing decision to drop out of college and give up her life in order to save her brother. I don't know, her character seems kind of okay with that. Kind of seems like she wants to go in that direction. But you know, it's a tough call. It's a lot to give up. But you know, beyond that, it sounds pretty good for a drama. Let's see, is there a write-up? No, but it's gonna be sad. Not my kind of movie, because it is sad. Next up is a movie called Femme. It's about a drag queen. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows what terminology I'm supposed to be using? Who the hell knows what YouTube will decide is wrong or right in the framing? But it's a guy who dresses up as a girl for a living and entertainment, and he gets harassed by a dude, gets beaten up, but then he comes back as dressed as a guy, befriends him, and then I don't know, they have an affair of some kind. I don't really get it, but I mean, I can kind of understand that portion of it. Like, if the dude beat him up and then he's trying to get revenge, but then they become an item, I guess. And he only likes him when he's a dude? I don't know. Directed by Sam H. Freeman and In Chun Ping. Screenplay by Sam H. Freeman and In Chu Ping. Nathan Stewart, Jarrett, George McKay. That name sounds familiar. With Aaron Hefferman, John McCrea, and Asha Reed. I mean, it's not my kind of movie. Straight up. It's just not. It's going to be about dealing with sexuality. It's just not a subject I'm interested in. Like, okay, it'll be a drama, I guess. It's not my drama. But maybe some people will relate to this. I mean, again, it's just Hollywood, another LGBTQIA2S plus movie. It's not like there's not somewhat of a market for them, but in the amount of numbers they're cranking these things out, it's like, how many people do you think can relate to this? How many closeted gay guys are going to be like, oh man, that movie really spoke to me? Like, there's just not enough of an audience there. Should they make these movies? Yeah, once in a while, but not in the rate they're making them now. I mean, it's like a cottage industry that's just, it's just glutted. The field is glutted with these movies. But sure, first act, I don't know, he meets him as a drag queen, makes fun of him, beats him up. Second act, the drag queen gets all butch, decides to go after him, befriends him, seduces him, and then turns the tables on him, I guess. And then they fall in love, and I don't know what happens at the end. They beat each other up, and then either one kills the other, or they end up a happy couple. I mean, it's kind of the only two things that can happen. Not for me, but there it is. So no other info. And finally, Vigilante, starring Olivia Wilde as an abused woman who eventually becomes a vigilante to help other abused women and beat up dudes and steal their money. And you can pretty much write the rest. She had a terribly abusive husband. And then she learned from director Sarah Dagar Nixon. She learned Krav Maga, and now she's a vigilante. Not a bad pitch. I'm not a huge fan of Olivia Wilde. I don't think she can act, but in this, she's acting a little better, I'll say. Here's the abusive husband. It finally catches... he's coming back, right? But written and directed by Sarah Dagar Nixon. So, Olivia Wilde, and that's about it. So it's not bad. It doesn't look bad. I don't know if I would recommend it, only because Olivia Wilde, man, I've seen her in some movies, and it's just, oof. But maybe this. So first act probably starts out down the road like she's already become a vigilante, and she helps a woman basically break up with her husband by beating him up and threatening him, and he signs over the house and marches out, never to come back again, or else Olivia Wilde will hunt him down and kill him. She's successful in that, and then we flash back to how she got here, and it was all because of her abusive husband, and then she went into a woman's shelter and got back on her feet, and eventually decided this is what she'd do with her life. She'd learn Krav Maga and go at these guys. It's not a bad pitch. I don't know if Olivia Wilde is the right person for this role, but she looks pretty good in the trailer, I gotta say. And I don't mean that like she's hot. I mean she looks like, okay, she's doing some acting here. So then, second act, she's helping women, doing these things, but then she gets the word her husband is out of jail or wherever he's been all this time. And the husband turns the tails on her. Here she is beating up two dudes that hit on her in a parking lot and then tried to molest her. But then I think she finds out about her husband, and now she's got to deal with him, and he's a powerful abuser. I think the more realistic situation would have been like he comes back, no idea she learned Krav Maga, and she just like obliterates him. But so it's what it's going to be. It's going to be a big third act push where she finally goes up against him and eventually kills him. Or doesn't. Here she's threatening the other guy. If you ever come back here, I'll kill you, and I really want to kill you. So it's not a bad pitch. I would say my worry is it's going to drive itself off a cliff by being very anti-men. All the men will be abusive, negative, brutally evil, and all the women will either be victims or saints that walk among us. And it'll be very black and white. It should be a lot like The Equalizer, is the way I would kind of do it. It should be a case at a time, and then maybe it ties in to the husband at some point, and then I don't know, maybe he's a low-level criminal, he catches a break in prison, becomes like a higher-level criminal, and she's got to kick up her game to beat him or something. But would I see this? Man, that's a tough call. I mean, Olivia Wilde is real kind of a turnoff for me, but it doesn't look bad. It looks kind of watchable. I'd probably check it out on a streaming service. I definitely wouldn't go to the movie theaters. I wouldn't trust it that much unless I heard rave reviews about it. And even then, I'd be like, I don't know, man. But a streaming, yeah, I might give it a shot. All right, so we got 3 movies here. Let's see, is there a write-up here? Oh, yeah, there's a write-up. Highland and Highlights, She Fights So You Don't Have to. In Highland's action thriller, A Vigilante, one woman ruthlessly hunts down the man who caused her suffering, becoming a vigilante for all. I mean, it's not a bad pitch for a TV show. Oh, here's more about it. A once abused woman, Sadie, hardens herself mentally and physically through intense practice of self-defense and combat techniques, and blossoms into a ruthless vigilante with a mission to help other abused women. Meanwhile, she has another personal agenda, hunting down the husband she must kill to truly be free. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so ranking these 3 movies, When Time Got Louder, I'm really not in love with that title, Femme, and A Vigilante. Well, out of those 3, I would have to put The Vigilante up first, of course. It's action. It does look pretty good. I'd probably watch this kind of movie anyway. Number 2 would be When Time Got Louder. I might watch this movie. It looks sad, but it does look well done, so I wouldn't mind it. And definitely on the bottom is Femme. I have no interest in this movie. I mean, just doesn't speak to me. It's a thriller. I mean, maybe if I heard it was amazing, I'd watch it, but I don't know. It's kind of a tough sell for me. It looks okay, I guess. It doesn't really look like a thriller, though. I'm not sure where you get thriller from it, but maybe if, again, when you have a trailer, you should clarify. This one of the reasons I like it, it's very clear what's going on here. I mean, the title helps, but it's very clear she's going after these abusive men. That's what's happening. She risks her life so you don't have to, kind of thing. Yeah, okay. The When Time Got Louder, I that title doesn't scan, but other than that, pretty straightforward. The Femme movie is a little bit obtuse. It's like, it kind of know what it's about. It might be a thriller, but it also could just be a drama about a guy going through, I don't know, some sort of thing with his gay lover. I don't know. So, yeah. All right. So there's 3 movies. Take that what you will. That's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. I will be at the Crosswicks Library tomorrow night in Crosswicks, New Jersey at 7 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.